Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the We Are Woke podcast. My name is Demetrius Brooks. I know I ain't been on here for a while, probably like a month. Just been backed up on life. But I wanted to make sure I reached out to my people that still follow the channel. I appreciate y'all getting everything back up and running, get back on these podcasts because I'll be having so much to talk about. And yeah, I'm gonna just get into it. Last night was a crazy night with this whole Jeezy and Gucci battle. I really wanna fast forward to that, but I'm a I'm gonna keep it how I always do and just go by the way I'm gonna go. You feel me? So with the quote of the day, the quote I saw today was, "Sometimes there is no support system. It's just you and the grind." And to me, that just means that like you. I see so many people like with social media. It could come with like a business you just started, even like with a podcast. You don't see the support that you expected you would. You thought you'd see like 1,000 people jumping on your shit or buying whatever product you got, and you don't get that support, and you might just get discouraged at times, and that's the wrong thing to do. The best thing for you to do is just keep pushing and realize that you have a goal that you want to meet, and the only way you can do that is by you putting your best foot forward. So keep it real. If you go whatever you selling clothing, you got a clothing line going, keep on selling your items. Somebody's gonna buy them, and after a while, all those people that you expected to be buying it, they'll catch on, they'll jump on the train after a while. You feel me? So yeah, y'all just keep on supporting. I support everybody got a business going, any clothing line, anything. If y'all want to get y'all products across the stuff, just hit me up. I'll give y'all a shout out, whatever. You feel me? But I want to get into some sports before I get into the whole music thing right quick. I just wanted to make a decent video. So yeah, let me see. First thing I want to talk about was the Kill Brook and Bud Crawford fight over the weekend, over last week. It was one of those fights that Kill Brook, as people know, like he's in hella shape. Bud Crawford is top five right now. They say they saying he's pound for pound, the top pound for pound. So I want to say he just pretty much salute the Bud. He definitely showed it the other night. He beat the hell out of Kell Brook. He knocked him through the ropes. I want to say like twice. So it was a nice size fight. Crawford Kell put the pressure on him at first, but after Crawford got into the zone and shit, it was nothing he could do. I think he got him out there in, I want to say round four. Got him out there in round four. So next up, Spence Jr. and Danny Swift Garcia. They fight next month. Can't forget about the Tyson and Roy Jones fight. But as far as welterweight, this is the fight to make with Spence and Danny. The winner should be able to face Bud sometime next year, most likely, because Bud said he wants to go after Manny Pacquiao and get that belt. And if Spence wins this matchup against Danny, that'll set up that showdown for sometime next year if he can get Bob Arum to sign a contract and make it work. You feel me? So that's a fight to look forward to next month is Spence versus Denny Garcia. That's all I want to talk about for boxing. As far as the NBA, like with the trade rumors that just happened, it was a few trades that came in, but as far as my squad, the Lakers, we went after Dennis Schroeder from the Thunder. We traded Denny Green and a pick for him. So I think that was a nice pickup. We finally got us a solid PG. I'm not saying he's the best PG. He's not top 10 PG, but he's very workable. He's grew over the last couple of years. He did great with CP3, which CP3 got traded to Phoenix. So it's going to be a nice little shakeup. The bigger trade that they talking about right now still is James Harden saying he wants to go play in Brooklyn, pretty much with KD and Kyrie, and it's like pretty much fuck Westbrook. I don't know what they got going on behind the scenes, but he's starting to seem like one of those players that's not playable with, that everybody don't look to play with, like RP to Kobe. But at times when at the end of Kobe's career, a lot of people didn't want to play with Kobe because he just wanted to win, and he can be a dick at times and stuff. And I think Westbrook might be rubbing people the wrong way, or he get beyond himself at times and stuff. Like he takes shit too personal and it can hurt the team. So that was just a few trades. I'm hoping that we can bring that same energy we brought this year after we won the finals. But I said next year be a lot different. It's gonna be a lot of more stacked teams. But all we can work on is what we got. So we'll make sure that work out. NFL's been going pretty good. As far as the Titans, I'm being pretty upset. That's another reason why I ain't been doing podcasts. It just pissed me off that when your team doing so good, then they start getting their ass whipped. It puts you in one of the moods that you don't want to do shit. So we got Baltimore this week. We acquired a safety corner actually, Desmond King from who's he playing for? I want to say the Chargers. We got him. He's been somewhat of a difference, but it's just been our offense hasn't been able to go. They've been locking Henry down. He ain't been able to get out the backfield. Defense not showing up when they're supposed to. Third downs still been killing us, but these last two games we've been able to somewhat shut down the third down, but shit, teams have been starting to go for it on fourth down, and we close to dead last in that category as well. So I just feel like we just need to play better team ball. We need to play good for 4 quarters. We can't let up for 1 quarter because every time we do, we end up in a dogfight. Even with teams like we lost to the Bengals at one point. They're not even a good team, but they're a young team and they're just more hungry than us. We came out there a little too cocky, I want to say. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, hopefully this Sunday it'll be a little different. Hopefully we can pull this one off against Baltimore. We beat them last time in the divisional conference in the playoffs last year. It was a big ass upset. Lamar was the MVP at the point. He's not having an MVP this year so far, I would say, but he's having a decent, solid year. And they, on paper, their team is better than the Tennessee Titans. So, like I said, we'll see. I'm hoping we can pull off the win, but if we don't, I won't be surprised. I'm just hoping we can maintain and make it to the playoffs at this point. That's pretty much it. What I have for as far as sports right now. Like I said, I got more of the podcast I wanted to talk about was mainly the music, like just from the battle last night. And it's a lot of music just been released. But before I get into that, I wanted to speak on a topic that I saw. I want to say like 1 or 2 months ago by Eric Benet. If those that don't remember Eric Benet, I want to say like is he R&B singer? R&B singer. He used to be with Holly Berry back in the days. But he made a post about birth control and saying that his opinion was that maybe men should be on birth control versus women being on birth control. And I just want to read a little bit of what he said. And what he said in his opinion on this tweet was, a man can impregnate 4 women a day. That's 14,060 pregnancies per year. A woman can only give birth once. So just with that being said, you have to think that I just like put yourself in a woman's shoe as a man. If you had to take a pill for birth control, that means that you would be able to put a stop on getting women pregnant. Basically, like, I mean, the same way, but I think that is harder on a woman when she's on birth control, and if she ends up pregnant, then she has to either go through with abortion or hold on to this baby. But who's to say that this relationship is gonna work? Now, if you flip it and if it's on a man can't deliver a child. It's just not going to happen. So with that being said, he would be able to, if he's on birth control, that will bring down the numbers. I mean, it's a big topic. I'd rather save it for when I got a guest because I just want to see what others' opinions are on it. But I just feel like from what he said, I can see where he's going with it. It could be a good idea, but then again, who knows? Maybe they'll come up with this pill one day, and we'll see how that goes. But for those that check out the podcast, or I just want to know your opinion. If you could comment on the video or DM me or whatever, just let me know what your opinion is on how would you feel if a man was on birth control. Like, what do you think the difference would be, and would it be a good idea? to have a man on birth control versus a woman on birth control. Um, so as far as let me backtrack. I wanted to speak on WWE because I'm still a wrestling fan. It's a big event this week. One of my favorite um, pay-per-views have always been the Survivor Series. It goes all the way back to like early '90s when Undertaker first showed up on the scene. I want to say it was Hulk Hogan versus I think it's Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker, and Taker won the belt from him because Ric Flair came in on help. That's all I can remember. But I know it was like 90, 92 time frame, but not like Survivor Series has always been a good one. I just wanted to give a quick prediction on the card for Sunday night. I'm just pull that up real quick. It's I said it's been some real good fights lately. Like as far as like AEW, they got their event not until next month. It's gonna be Kenny Omega versus John Moxley. So that should be a good one as well. But let's get into this card real quick. Let's see here. I'm gonna just start from the bottom like I always do. And here we go. All right, so the first match to most likely come on will be Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. With that fight, I'm a Bobby Lashley fan. I've always been a Bobby Lashley fan. I like Sami Zayn. I like him playing the heel and stuff. But I think with this fight, Bobby Lashley should pull off the win. If he don't, it's just gonna be some type of interference. Maybe Apollo Crews to show up because they've been having beef. So this gets started to where Bobby Lashley and them Apollo Crews get the beefing again or somewhat. So that'd probably be the pre-show fight. Like I said, I still think it'd be a decent fight. It should be cool. Next up, we got New Day versus Street Profits. So for those that haven't been following Survivor Series, it's you with the Survivor Series now they have it as pretty much Raw versus SmackDown with all the fights and stuff, or they have a couple of battle royals, the Survivor teams versus Raw. See, the best team wins. You feel me? Last year, I want to say they did Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, and NXT blew them out the water. But this year, due to COVID, they haven't been able to get everybody in the same arena, you feel me? So they're just leaving it as just Raw and SmackDown. So New Day versus Street Profit. I like both teams. I just feel like New Day is more established. They're the top tag team as far as like the tag team champs. So I feel like New Day should win that fight. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. This one, I feel that since Asuka is beating pretty much all the women, Sasha just got her belt recently from Bayley, so this fight, it's another fight. It can go either way. Either Bayley gonna come out and interrupt and cost Sasha the belt, or Sasha will finally get put over as a stronger champion. Because usually when it comes to title fights, she end up losing the strap. So I think that Sasha gonna win that fight. The Women's Survivor Series match. They have, let me see. Team Raw is Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, and Lana versus Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and two other superstars I'm not sure of. I think with this one, I want to say Raw's gonna win. Actually, I'll take that back. I think that SmackDown's gonna win this fight, and the reason being is because Nia Jax has been bullying Lana. I want to say she put her through the table like 7 or 8 times recently. So it's just like she don't believe she got what it takes to be on the team. So like I said, that fight could go either way. Either Lana's gonna cost them the match, or Lana's gonna win them the match. So I think that something's telling me that SmackDown's gonna win this one just to keep the card even. What else we got? The men's Survivor Series match. Raw, we got Keith Lee, AJ Styles, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Matt Riddle SmackDown, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and the last opponent to be determined. Um, hmm. On paper, Raw looks like the more stacked team. So I'm gonna go with Raw on that one. I'll say Raw one. I'm just a big fan of Keith Lee and AJ Styles. I'm a fan of a lot of these, but Keith Lee and AJ Styles, I'm a real big fan of them. They should win that fight. And for the main event, we got, as you know, Drew McIntyre. He just won his belt back from Randy Orton. I want to say like a last week. Well, yeah, actually on Monday. So with that one, he should I think Roman's gonna win because with him being the heel, he's being the bad guy. I feel like he's just gonna continue to dominate. Maybe Jay would come out and help Roman out this time because he had a fall in line, or maybe Jimmy's on his way back. We don't know yet, but I feel like and then Emery's in there mad because we didn't got some gates for her, so she can't get out. My bad, but yeah, I think Roman Reigns being the heel for this fight should win him the matchup. So pretty solid card. I'm not gonna complain about it. I like the card. We'll see how it turn out Sunday. Like I said, Survivor Series is one of my favorite. Also, Survivor Series will be the last time we most likely see Undertaker. This is his farewell tour. Maybe a sighting from Sting or somebody from the past that he got beef with that he want to get his last match in at this next WrestleMania. Maybe John Cena or somebody like that. But this might be the last time with Taker. It's starting to look like he's taking that role in as, all right, I'm done wrestling. I'm ready to start helping out around here because he's a WWE guy. He's been solid since day one. So salute to Taker and his legacy, man. Like Taker a legend. Like I say top five wrestler of all time, personally, my opinion. So enough of Raw. Let's get into SmackDown about like not SmackDown, some music before I get into this other versus results from last night. So for music, I heard a few albums over this last I'll say like week or so. Let me see. Black Youngsta got a CD out. Uzi and Future got a CD out. Two Chains. And then Jeezy album just dropped last night. I was gonna give y'all a few recommendations. I'm not sure who y'all listening to right now, but so these are some pretty solid albums that I enjoyed. With Black Youngsta album, what do you got? 14 tracks on there. He got a song called Streets. He got a song called Neighborhood Hero, and I met Take Keith first. Those I say they're my favorite three off the Black Youngster CD. Off who was next? When I said Two Chains, off Two Chains CD, I would say Ziploc, Southside Ho, and Wait for You to Die. They're my favorite three off the Two Chains CD, which is called So Help Me God. With the Southside Ho song, he pretty much mentioned about it's just a dedication to Jay-Z is on one of his beats, but to go in detail, Two Chainz said like with artists that he's been trying to reach out to over the years, like Jay is one of those artists that's been hard to get a feature from. He said this was his pretty much his third time reaching out to him, and with him is if I reach out to you three times and I can't get a feature or whatever, then it is what it is. But he had never asked again, so he got into that and just saying like, I mean Jay's still one of his favorite rappers, but still he was hoping to get a feature from him one day, but that shit never happened. Um, yeah, he some solid songs on Two Chain. Who else did I say? Lil Uzi and Jay Z. Not damn, I'm tripping. Lil Uzi and goddamn, where'd it go? Lil Uzi and Future. They collabo is called Pluto and Baby Pluto. Let me see. Drinking and Smoking, $1 Million Baby, and what's the other track called? Real Baby Pluto. So check, yeah, number 4, 5, or 6 on there. They got 16 tracks on there, solid. I would say it's probably like 2 or 3 songs I wasn't really feeling on there, but it still turned out all right. And then the last album I wanted to get into was the Jeezy album, Recession 2. Now, with Jeezy albums, the Recession, now Thug Motivation, my favorite album from Jeezy, but Recession is probably top 3 for me. So I can't compare 2 to 1 yet off top, because off top with Recession 1, it was all fire, like straight through. But I haven't gave this one like an actual listen all the way through yet. I skimmed through it, went back and listened to the ones I felt that I liked. So a few songs on there I like was, matter of fact, the first song on there, Oh Lord. He got one called Modern Day, Death to Me, Therapy for My Soul, Almighty Black Dollar. That's with Ross. If he got a Ross feature, you know it's gonna be fire. So salute to Jeezy coming out Recession 2 last night. He had an epic battle last night. We're gonna get in that right now, because it's been so much backlash about the Gucci and Jeezy battle. And for those that follow rap music and where this beef started from, uh, I want to say Zaytoven had an interview a couple of weeks ago, over a couple years too, but just to bring it up, of what that beef came from and where it came from, was that Jeezy and Gucci back in the days, Gucci was about to do a feature with Jeezy, and Zayto was like, "Shit, I ain't got a beat right now," so he ended up whipping up a beat. It ended up being So Icy. They got the song, he got popping. They start going crazy in Atlanta for it. Well, when it came time for them to put the song on a album, Gucci was like, I'm gonna throw that on my album. Jeezy like, I'm gonna throw it on my album. So the way they was seeing it was that, Jeezy, you pretty much, people already know you a household name. Not really, but your name is out there more than Gucci. So let Gucci get it, so could get his name out there. But either way, the way I seen it was that, if Jeezy put on his album, it's gonna give you more exposure, because then they're like, damn, who was that on? Who the second dude on there? Because Gucci, like, he went off on that one. But if you put it on Gucci album, they gonna look at it the same way, like, oh, shit, you got a feature from Jeezy, but still, it's like you supposed to go with the better artist at the time, and I guess that's how they bumped heads. So at some point, Gucci had a chain back then. They saying that Jeezy put a hit on him for the chain, 10K, and when he did that, it led to one of Jeezy homeboys getting murdered, and Gucci claimed self-defense. Now, fast forward to 2020, this man has been dead for 15, 16 years. At some point in life, you got to look at it like, damn, yes, I almost lost my life about this, but at the same time, I can't beef with this man about it, because it means nothing. It's not doing it. It's not feeding either one of us. All it can do is lead to one of us getting hurt. So going into the battle, I felt that, I was speaking to my brother on and a few other people, that Gucci was pretty much going to be disrespectful. If you listen to Gucci songs, he got at least 20, 10, 20 songs dissing Jeezy. So he got hot off that. And what a lot of people love is like that beef music. If you beefing with somebody, they not checking the facts or nothing. They just gonna go straight to it. Like, they just gotta go straight to picking a side and shit. So I just want to get into the card a little bit, because last night, what I seen out of, what is it, 25 tracks, I would say Gucci probably won 4 or 5 rounds. So I'm gonna just go like how it went. What they got: versus freestyle 2020 versus Trap or Die. So look, Jeezy took first round. Bench. So I'm gonna go. It's because Gucci went first. So I'll go Gucci song and Jeezy song. Bench Warmers versus Trap or Die. I Think I Love Her versus Standing Ovation. Plain Jane versus Gangsta Music. I'm a Dog versus Bottom of the Map. Vedic Pass by Jeezy the Snowman. Wake Up in the Sky versus Them Boys. That's My Hood versus Sky's the Limit. Let's get it. Both versus Go Crazy. Bricks versus All There. Make the Trap Say A versus Who That. We Be Steady Mobbing. They Know Remix. Heavy. Lose My Mind. Street Niggas. Way Too Gone. Fresh Out versus Air Forces. Photo Shoot versus Everything. Wasted versus Trap Star. Truth versus Get Your Mind Right. Now, see, when they got the Truth, for those that know, that was the biggest diss track towards Jeezy. Like, he said everything about him. He even mentioned the part about digging up your dead friend and stuff. And when that happened, I want to say like they had an agreement because if you fast forward to the end of the video, they had an agreement that if I'm gonna do this battle, I'm gonna be able to perform my song. And that's like I said, that's how I feel. After that, I'm gonna leave it alone. So it probably rubbed Jeezy the wrong way because he got to talking about like we smoking on whatever his name is, something I can't remember his name, his buddy that died, but he got to talking crazy about it and shit. And it set Jeezy off the wrong way, but at the same time, Jeezy let him know, like, look, man, I mean, you're gonna always feel that way, but at the end of the day, like people looking up to us, Atlanta look up to us, they looking at us like role models and legends and shit. We need to bury that shit. Not saying we gotta be buddy buddy and stuff, but just leave that shit alone. So after that, it was 745 versus Put On, Trap House versus Seen It All, Get the Bag versus Thug Motivation 101, Pills versus Soul Survivor, East Atlanta 6 versus Jeezy, Lemonade versus Welcome Back. And then at the end, Jeezy again told him, like, look, man, forget everybody up in this room and stuff. We gonna get this song off. We gonna leave it at that. 20 years in the making. Let's do it. Gucci agreed to it. They performed so icy. So last night it was more about the culture. It was all about squashing beef from 15, 20 years ago. Not saying that Jeezy was Jeezy wasn't wrong for wanting to squash the beef, and Gucci is not wrong for saying what he said. I mean, that's how he felt about the situation. He might always feel that way, but at the same time, when it comes to rap, like these are two people that are big in Atlanta. They still making music. They still make quality music. They got artists that's making good music and stuff. So we need both of them around. So that's what it came to last night. I think they said they went to the compound and had a little party over there and stuff. So it was good seeing Gucci and Jeezy back after all these years. Will we see any music from them in the future? I don't know, due to Jeezy saying he retiring again. For y'all know that Jeezy, like, I'm a big Jeezy fan. He didn't retire 4, 5 times, so maybe we might get another track from him, but who knows? I just felt like for those that's like on social media, if you just read some of the comments and stuff, you have to realize it was a lot of shit said last night. For one, as far as the battle goes, once Gucci started realizing he was losing, what he said to Jeezy was play some new shit. Then if you listen, Gucci started playing this new shit, and it was like, well, this shit whack anyway, compared to what Jeezy had. But you have to realize Jeezy got so many classics, it's hard to play new shit. He don't need to play new shit. He can play all this old shit and it's gonna bump. Gucci is all about, he had, out of 25 songs, he had at least 6 or 7 songs directed towards Jeezy, and he performed that shit. So I feel like it was a bigger win for, like I said, for the culture, just to see both of them on the stage and shit. At some point, Gucci mentioned that he got 10K on, and Jeezy was like, I ain't got that on. I'm buying houses and shit. I'm real estate. We could have that type of battle. And that silenced the crowd because like, damn, like, what would you rather have? Would you rather be walking around with 10,000 on, or would you have a couple of cribs put up? Now, when it comes to social media, you look on there, you got people posting memes saying that, oh, Jeezy only owns 2 homes. And then you have to ask yourself, for you to post something like that, how many cribs do you own? Do you have a car note? Like, you feel me? Like, a lot of us, we still got car notes. We got a mortgage on this stuff. Like, it's ownership. That 10K don't mean nothing. That makes you a bigger target, if anything. If you walking around with 10,000 on, and somebody know that, you got a price on your head. So, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. For me, I was just glad to see both nobody get hurt at the event. Wasn't no shooting. I said I ain't expect them to shake hands and nothing like that, but they at least they performed the song together. We've been waiting for that for years. After all the shit they said, you can just tell by the vibe that when that song came on, Gucci was smiling like a motherfucker. Look at Jeezy, he happy as hell. Like, that shit brought you back to early 2000. Like, they was really feeling that. So, like I said, that was a great battle. One of the best ones they had so far. The next battle they saying is was it Patti LaBelle versus Gladys Knight? And I probably won't watch that shit because I mean I ain't listening to music like that. I like the R&B and the rap, but the old school Patti LaBelle and I thought Patti LaBelle was making sweetie pies and shit. So I'll stick to the sweetie pies. I'm not gonna watch this battle, but I'm gonna try to get my grandma to tune into it or something. Like, the older generation will enjoy it, even though they both got good music. No diss to them. I just rather see like the rappers, like the top rappers and stuff, go at it. Rumor has it that Ti, they saying that Ti gonna go against Wayne. A few people, a lot of people probably think like Ti ain't got a chance or Wayne ain't got a chance. But I feel like it'll turn out being a good battle because both got classic songs. They both got classic albums. So they got mixtapes. You know, Weezy, a mixtape legend. So that battle could go either way. You feel me? So yeah, that's it about the music. I'll just look forward to that next one that's gonna be coming out. What else we had? Just a few more things. The TV show I've been watching lately is Boardwalk Empire, and that's I want to say it's like 5, 6 seasons now. I'm on season 2 right now. It got a lot of star power in there, but this is about like back in the days. Who is it? Nucky Thompson and Al Capone and all them. So you know, like, if you know their stories, this is pretty much how they started off and stuff. Like, some of the stuff back in the scenes, like how shady the business one was. They were selling illegal alcohol back then. Like, was it the 30s and 40s? I'm gonna say 1930s, 40s. You still have racism going on, so you have you see how some got along with black folks back then. That, like, as far as like business wise, they got in. They had certain things that they would do, and then you still see like with them being involved with black folks on there, that they had to pay their consequences. And then you seeing how, like, with the mafia and all that type of shit, how they got along with the government and all that stuff, and it just show you how shady shit was back then. So that's definitely a good show to watch. I don't want to say too much. I'll just say like it's a real great recommendation if you're looking for a new TV show to watch. This episodes are like an hour long, maybe close to an hour long. So definitely a good episode. Whenever y'all get a chance, check out Boardwalk Empire. And the last thing I want to get into was my top 5. And the top 5 for the day is Jeezy songs. Since Jeezy came away with the win, I just wanted to say my top 5 favorite songs by Jeezy. Damn, he ain't played 2 of them, come to think about it. But let me see. I'm gonna say "Go Crazy" is one of my favorite. That was probably my favorite ringtone back then. The guy had that shit on. Him and Jay-Z. Seen It All. That's another him and Jay track. One of my favorite songs. Like, real shit he's speaking on there. Mr. 17.5. That's 3. Circulate. I was hoping he played that, but it wasn't them type of battles. Jeezy came with knockout songs the whole night. He probably missed with maybe 2 of them, but a lot of people like him. Like, for one, I hate that song "Soul Survivor" with Akon, and I was telling somebody on my page that it just sound like Akon just sound like whiny as hell on there, even though that's his rap voice. But on there, he just sound like he Jeezy bunkmate or something, like one of them emotional bunkmates or some shit up in prison. So like I said, I really strongly dislike Soul Survivor. It's not one of my favorite songs ever. And the last song I had was Circulate. Oh, Trap or Die. That's the last song I had. He played that though. So I said the battle turned out good. Salute to Jeezy, salute to Gucci, even though with all the stuff that happened, they was able to end it on a good note. Gucci told him like no disrespect and shit, like it is what it is, just gonna leave it at that. So once again, I just want to thank y'all for tuning into the show. I promise I'll be getting back in here weekly, get some guests back on the show and stuff. It's starting to get cold out. A lot of people gonna be locked in the crib, so somebody gonna have to get on here and holler at me about just a few topics and shit, man. I just like to cook it up with people, talk to my people that I ain't seen for a while, years, whatever, just to chop it up with y'all. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Weird Woke Podcast. Follow me on Instagram, Weird Woke Podcast on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube, the Weird Woke Podcast. Click like, share, comment if you want to be a guest on the show. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. See y'all back next week.